Rejoice, pageant fans, because Miss Universe Philippines 2025 is the gift that keeps on giving. In a plot twist, turn of events, whatever you want to call it, Chelsea Fernandez has officially announced that she is joining Miss Universe Philippines 2025. And let me tell you, I am so shocked. This is the comeback that we didn't know we needed, but that we are very happy that we are getting. And don't get me wrong, I mean that in the best possible way. I'm actually a Chelsea stan, and I have been for a couple of years at this point. So seeing her come back to national pageantry is so exciting. But before we get into this topic, go ahead and drop a like on this video because this is the second time I'm filming this, as the first time I forgot to press record and whatnot. So I'm doing the same video twice on the same day. Just drop a like, please. And thank you. A couple of months ago, there were rumors going around, and if you are one of those pageant fans who follows the pageant pages and the pageant groups and who talks with other fans, you knew that there was a little bit of buzz about Chelsea Fernandez coming back to Miss Universe Philippines, so joining once again a national competition. However, this was completely shattered just a couple of weeks ago when Chelsea Fernandez herself went out of her way to make a public announcement saying that, unfortunately, she was not joining the local search for the Samar representative for Miss Universe Philippines. Honestly, although a lot of people were rooting for it, I personally thought it kind of makes sense. I don't know if you guys remember, but just a couple of months ago, Chelsea Fernandez joined a regional competition. I don't remember the name of it, so if you guys know, please let me know down below. But it was that one pageant, you know, in the province where they had like a really high budget and like 2.5 million pesos for the winner, and even the runner-ups got like an absurd amount of money. So obviously, a lot of girls joined that competition, Chelsea Fernandez being one of them, and also being one of the front runners. However, as you know, in the Philippines, there are a lot of natural catastrophes, and there was a typhoon, and of course that area was affected. So the local government decided to hold the pageant, focus on the people affected by the typhoon, and that's perfectly fine. That's actually the right thing to do. Pageantry is not that serious, so it shouldn't be all of that. But as a consequence of the delays and the postponements and all of those things, the government eventually announced that they were just canceling the pageant. Not postponing, but canceling. And after that was announced and people started having expectations that, girl, you should join instead Miss Universe Philippines, I thought, yes, because Chelsea can bring that caliber. But at the same time, let's not forget that joining pageants is so expensive. And the fact that Chelsea was already joining a competition that got cancelled, it means that all of the resources that she put into her preparation, into her looks, into her team, the photo shoots, the outfits, all of that money is completely lost. I mean, she didn't recover anything. It's not like she got a consolation prize or the girls got a certain amount. No, all of the funds went to the victims of the typhoon, as it should have, but I'm sure it left a little bit of a hole on Chelsea's pocket. I'm assuming, I don't know. Admittedly, I was one of those fans that was kind of crossing fingers for her to join once again Miss Universe Philippines, but at the same time, I had no clear expectation given the fact that she just came from that experience on the pageant, and when she made her announcement, I was very understanding of it. Well, apparently there's no more need to be understanding because Chelsea just gagged us all and made the announcement that she is being appointed to represent Sultan Kudarat at Miss Universe Philippines 2025. That's right. The same Sultan Kudarat who sponsored Miss Universe last year. Remember when they took all the girls and they had the national costume competition, and they have even the preliminaries competition in Sultan Kudarat, and they had some of the best production that Miss Universe Philippines have ever had. Yeah, that same province, that same locality. So I think this is gonna give Chelsea a little bit of an advantage. Not an unfair advantage, but an advantage nonetheless. Before I tell you about that, I just want to break down basically Chelsea's journey in pageantry on a national and international level so that you guys can better understand my point and where I'm going with this. So I have a couple of my notes here and also coming from my memory. In 2019, Chelsea Fernandez competed in Miss Philippines Earth. Obviously, Queen started in one of the most loved pageants in the Philippines, right? She won the title of Miss Philippines Water. So right off the bat, first national competition, she ended with one of the elemental titles in the competition. So honestly, props to Chelsea. In the middle of the pandemic, she won Miss ECQ, which honestly I'm not familiar with. I heard this is a virtual pageant, so good for you, Chelsea, I guess. In 2021, she took home the Miss Bikini Philippines crown in a virtual competition. So obviously, again, these are COVID times. Everything is done virtually, but she still managed to win, right? So very good. In 2022, this is when I became aware of Chelsea's existence and I started rooting for her and I started covering her journey. She joined Binibining Pilipinas. Obviously, we all know that she nailed that competition and she ended up winning the title of Binibini Globe, which gave her the right to compete on behalf of the Philippines at the Miss Globe 2022. At the Miss Globe, Chelsea did very well. Her looks, her performance were just incredible, and she made it to the semifinals and also won the special award for the head-to-head challenge. Right after all of that journey, Chelsea made a comeback briefly, as I told you guys, with this regional pageant, the one with a lot of money for cash prize, but that was cancelled. So this is where we're at the moment. My assumptions are that Chelsea had the intention to join Miss Universe Philippines Samar and just go through all of that to hopefully win the rights to join Miss Universe Philippines, but assumingly, because of the cost or because of conflicts in her schedule, whatever, she was not able to push through with it. And this is where she got the offer to join, to just simply represent, not to compete, but to be appointed as Miss Universe Philippines Sultan Kudarat. Very clever, if you ask me. It's a win-win. Go to the nationals already. You don't have to compete in the region. You can save your funds for the international competition. And potentially, she's going to be receiving help from the local government. So win-win, if you ask me. Not Marquez, as in like win-win. You get it? Anyways. So I'm going to keep this kind of short, but I just want to point out a couple of things. Chelsea is beautiful. It's beautiful. She is one of those girls that can satisfy different prototypes of beauty all over the world. She is universally beautiful, in my opinion. That's what I'm trying to say. She's a great performer. Go back and look at her performance during Binibini. Look at her performance at the Miss Globe. Her looks were always on point, very intentional, very elaborate. This is a girl who was not scared to give us a moment on stage. And that's something that, as a pageant fan, I appreciate, because pageants is all about, you know, advocacy, the inspiration and all of that, but the entertainment has to go hand in hand with it. And Chelsea is one of those girls who consistently delivered on that. Now, I hear some people say that Chelsea's communication skills are not so great and what da. I think that this year we have very strong communicators, so Chelsea needs to prepare for that at Miss Universe. But also, it is unfair to say that she's not a good communicator. After all, when she competed at the Miss Globe, she did manage to win the head-to-head challenge, right? And based on my personal experience, meeting her a couple of times and talking to her, she's a very natural, easygoing, genuine, funny, literally funny Filipina girl. Are the vibes with Chelsea? You don't get the overly like queenly treatment, trying to be like figure representing world peace and what. No, the girl is. Ooh, I live in the ghetto. Ooh. Drop a like on this video if you're here. Drop a like if you're still watching, because girl, the things I go through to make content. Anyways. We were saying, so Chelsea has the looks, she brings the show, very intentional with her presence on stage. She is a very decent communicator as well. And honestly, what I think is a bit more interesting now is that she is representing Sultan Kudarat. Again, I don't know who appointed her, if it's the local government or if there is an accredited partner. We don't know. But what we know for a fact is that there is a lot of money in Sultan Kudarat based on the production that we had last year for Miss Universe Philippines. So my hope, I'm crossing fingers for Chelsea. Girl, if you're watching this, I'm manifesting for you, is that she is getting support from the government, because that will guarantee that Chelsea will give us looks, the pasabog. She will give us the photo shoots. She will give us the, designer gowns. And when you combine all of those things with her performance and her natural charisma, there is absolutely no reason why Chelsea wouldn't end up with a title. And when you think there are actually a couple of titles that could fit Chelsea, as she is a very versatile girl, of course, the goal is always universe. She is going for that Miss Universe Philippines crown. But let's not forget, there is Miss Cosmo Philippines, which based on last year's edition, it seems like they're looking for someone who can walk and perform and give the looks, which Chelsea can do. Remember what they said after all, we walk, we don't talk, right? There's also Miss Supra. Chelsea can perform. She's a stunner. She can bring up the really nice designer looks and whatnot. So very fitting for Chelsea as well. There's Miss Eco. Let's not forget that Chelsea competed before at Miss Philippines Earth and she ended with one of those titles. So it could be a good choice. So it simply makes a lot of sense for Chelsea to make a comeback, to get involved at this particular time, and hopefully with the right support system and the tools and the training and the preparation, she can give us one of the most intentional and fully realized visions that she has for her pageant journey. I don't know about you, but personally, I'm very excited for Chelsea to come back, and I know that she has what it takes to, give us an incredible show. But let's not forget, there are really strong contenders this year. We talked about Winmin Marquez, we talked about Ileana Aduana, we talked about, actually, I haven't talked about Katrina Liagado yet, which I have to make a video about her. And there are, it looks like there will be over 70 delegates this year at Miss Universe. So when I said that it's gonna be a bloodbath, it's gonna be intense. But at the same time, that's good news, right? It's really exciting for us pageant fans, so I'm not complaining. Anyways, look. Let me know what you guys think about Chelsea's comeback. Were you expecting it? Were you surprised? Are you happy? Are you gonna be rooting for her and supporting her? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video. Not just because I live in the ghetto, but also because I filmed this video twice for you guys. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one.